Welcome to True Crime Tuesday. Alright, imagine this. You're a police detective, top of your class, respected and trusted. Now imagine you're also one of the most wanted bank robbers in the country. That's the story of Andres Charles Stander. Stander was born into law enforcement. His father was a major general in the South African prison service. So from early on, the path was pretty much laid out for him, and he followed it. In 1963, he enrolled in police training near Pretoria and graduated at the top of his class. Sharp, disciplined, and driven. Exactly what you'd expect from someone destined for a long career in the force. He joined the Criminal Investigation Unit in Kempton Park. Everything was normal until it wasn't. In 1977, something changed. Stander flew to Durban and robbed his first bank. Not out of desperation, not out of necessity, but almost like he was chasing something. Excitement, maybe. Or control. And here's what made him different. He didn't quit his job. He kept working as a detective, while secretly robbing banks on the side, sometimes even during his lunch break. And after the robbery, he'd go back to work and help investigate the very crime he had just committed. Over the next few years, he robs nearly 30 banks. Eventually, though, the double life catches up to him. He's arrested, and in 1980, he's sentenced to what sounds like a lifetime 75 years in prison. But in reality, due to overlapping charges, he's looking at about 17 years behind bars. He's sent to Zonderwater prison, and this is where things escalate. Inside, he meets Alan Hale and Lee McCall. Three men, same mindset, and soon the same plan. In August 1983, Stander and McCall are taken out of prison for what seems like a routine physiotherapy visit, but it's anything but routine. They overpower the therapist and escape, just like that, free again. But they're not done. A couple of months later, they go back not to surrender, but to break Hale out, and now the trio is complete. From that moment on, the media gives them a name, the Stander Gang. Then comes the day that cements their legend. January 19th, 1984, Johannesburg CBD. In less than an hour, they robbed 3 banks. 3. Back to back. Fast, clean, precise. The kind of crime that makes people stop and ask, how is this even possible? For a moment, it feels like they're untouchable. But that moment doesn't last. Police pressure is building, and by the end of January, everything starts falling apart. A raid is carried out on a safe house in Houghton. Lee McCall is killed. The gang is fractured. Alan Hale runs, moving across countries trying to stay ahead. But eventually he's caught, extradited back to South Africa, and sentenced to decades behind bars. And Stander, he's gone even further, all the way to the United States. Now here's where the story takes a turn that feels almost surreal. While international arrest warrants are out for him, Stander creates a new identity. He calls himself Peter Harris, an Australian author. Fake name. Forged driver's license. New life. Or at least, that was the plan. He buys a Ford Mustang from a used car dealer. But just a few days later, on February 10th, 1984, police pull him over. The car isn't properly registered. They question him. He hands over his fake ID. The police immediately recognize it's a forgery, but somehow they buy his story about who he is. They confiscate the fake license in the Ford Mustang and let him go, just like that. And this is where it gets unbelievable. That same night, Stander goes back to the police impound lot, breaks in, and steals his own car back. The next day, he returns to the same dealership, asking the same salesman to repaint the car in a different color. But this time, something's different. The dealer has seen the news. He recognizes the name, recognizes the face, but instead of confronting him, he plays along, takes his details, and as soon as Stander leaves, he calls his lawyer and then the police. A tactical unit is sent out. They surround Stander's apartment, but he's not there. He's out, riding a bicycle. And then, without realizing it, he rides straight back into the trap. As he approaches the apartment complex, an officer spots him, recognizes him, moves in. Stander tries to escape. A struggle breaks out. They fight over the officer's shotgun. And then it goes off. Stander is hit. He collapses onto the driveway, bleeding heavily. The officer calls for help, even tries to save him. But the injuries are too severe. And before the ambulance arrives, Andres Stander dies. A detective who became a criminal, who chased something bigger than the life he had, and for a brief moment, outsmarted the system completely. But in the end, it wasn't a massive shootout. It wasn't a dramatic chase. It was one moment, one mistake, and everything caught up to him